Listen to your sister. Listen to a woman who's old enough to be your grandmother.
Yes.
Jesus. Give due respect by looking her in the eye. Come on. Decorum, mannerism. Look her in the eye, as though she's your grandmother.
I tell him, Muhammad borrowed Jesus, renamed him Isa, changed his character completely, and said.
Have a good discussion.
I mean, do you want to engage with the accusation?
Who's Isa?
Why not?
Good question. Who's Isa?
I mean, it's kind of just going to entail that she holds to a supposition that the referent of Christ is just going to underline. It just underlines a person who is fully God, who was crucified and persecuted under Pontius Pilate. But once you distort that supposition, once you distort that referent, it's just going to entail a completely different fictitious character. And through that, through holding to the Christian position, you can then argue that Islam, for a naturalistic account, just stole off the previous revelation.
It stole about the Trinity. It stole about the very foundation of your religion.
I mean, were there 7th century writers in Arabic who spoke about
there being 3 gods, didn't it?
Well, the issue is that
no
my accusation.
So what exactly did Islam steal?
Yes, so my accusation isn't going to entail that he had direct access to the Gospels, because he didn't. There was no 7th century Gospels in Arabic. So which means Muhammad.
So your argument is essentially that if there is no evidence, historically speaking, therefore it must be a fact. Is that the argument that you're making here?
So my argument entails that Muhammad had no access to the 7th century Gospels, and you already concede that his companions and Muhammad himself, actually learned, well, according to the Sunni tradition.
Whoa.
Well, actually, let me finish.
Wait.
Are you a Sunni?
There you go. The first question shouldn't have been presupposing that I'm a Sunni. The first question should have been,
what I've watched,
are you a Sunni?
So from what I've watched in your videos, you're a Sunni.
And where have I said in my video that I'm a Sunni?
You are arguing.
Name me one video where you, and this is a challenge in front of the camera, are you saying that you've heard me say on camera I'm a Sunni?
So you are defending the Sunni tradition of Allah and Tawheed?
No, that's not the question, my friend. That's
yes,
not the question. That
because you understand things without having it possessed in verbatim statements. So for example, if you're defending the Sunni tradition, are you going to interrupt me?
Yes, I am. I'm interrupting you now.
Okay, so if I interrupt you, you're going to complain. Because you were complaining that I had no decorum.
You can interrupt as much as you want.
Okay, so I'm going to interrupt you.
Yeah, that's fine. You carry on talking.
So when you're defending the Sunni tradition,
your argument is abductive in nature. It's the inference of the best explanation.
Well, it's a probabilistic argument.
Probabilistic? Well, I don't really deal in probabilistic arguments.
Do you not? Wait, so what's the contingency argument?
I thought
You've used the contingency argument when talking of God. That's a probabilistic argument, as it poses that your God suffices. Because it suffices the precondition, but you've used it. You said you don't deal with them. Did you say you didn't deal in them?
No.
You said you didn't deal in them. You didn't deal in these arguments.
So, when you have the means of being able to speak to someone with a level of respect, then come back to me.
Wait, you said you were interrupting me.
No.
Notice the hypocrisy. Notice the hypocrisy.
In general.
Okay, in general, you shouldn't be rude to me.
I'm being rude to the
You're
individuals
interrupting
who are
me.
rude to Muslims in general.
Okay, how about this? How am I being rude to Muslims in general?
Well, this is my reading of the way you go to Muslims week in, week out, badgering them and interrupting them purposefully, not even caring about who they're speaking about.
The main
so
argument?
therefore, from that, I can deduce that you are a rude individual.
Now I investigate the claims you've made about myself.
Are you going to deny that?
Yes.
How?
Because
this is a subjective argument I'm putting to you. How are you going to refute a subjective argument? That it is my
questioning your criteria.
My interpretation that you interject Muslims on a weekly basis.
Wait, subjective opinions.
Without giving any regard to who they're talking to.
Because subjective opinions.
So therefore, ergo, you are a rude individual. On that basis, I am not going to engage with rude individuals. So to you, like we say, lakum dinukum waliya din. To you, your religion, and to us, ours. That's it. That's
Well,
it. What are you going to say now?
So, you
What are you
said,
gonna say now?
yes, I'm going to respond. So subjective opinions can be
No,
more
no, no.
valid
To
than
you,
each
your
other.
religion, and to us, ours. In other words, the conversation is now
Yeah,
gone.
and my
It's dead.
argument is going to be that your religion is spiritually dead.
Okay,
And I can argue
okay,
that.
Let me just
Now,
walk away and figure out how
that
that
verse,
relates to what I've just said to you there.
Because
Thank
that
you.
verse has
Thank you.
identified
Follow,
that these
follow.
religions are separate. I'm not going to move. So it's very simply, if you want to substantiate a claim that somehow I'm subjectively rude, you're going to have to grant that. Subjective opinions can be more valid than its predecessors. For example, I could argue to a better degree that I'm not rude compared to him. Now, he said that I had to establish a level of decorum when engaging in a discussion with him. But if that's the case, why then is he interrupting me? My argument initially to him was that the Fitra gives a crappy account of the Nous and EED, and because it does not have a doctrine which talks about how God dynamically interacts with creation, it leads to an issue theologically. Secondly, the sister posed the argument that the referent of Isa is a fictitious character compared to the referent of Christ, thus establishing or giving a grounding that Christ is historical. He continually, although speaks to unlearned Christians, would not engage with me because for me, I would have a more broader and longer discussion.